Hi, I'm John McLeod with Classic Instruments, and I'm here today to show you some of our performance gauges that we launched about 3 years ago. We have 16 different gauges in 7 different series, which gives you thousands of options to set up your race car. We brought in a bunch of features by going all over the United States and going to racers and asking them, if you had the perfect gauge, what would it be and what features would it have? We got to work with Jason Line, Pro Stock World Champion, Kyle Tucker, won the Baja 1000 and is known for his autocross racing, and hundreds of other drivers to come up with this information to try to build the best gauge out there. So we developed a new microprocessor with our very own air core movement that we build to build the most rugged instrument in the industry today. And with a bunch of features like different bezels, we made our performance bezels, which you can see here in a brushed or black. We made it in different sizes, 2 1/16, 2 5/8. And inside the gauge, we put in 2 different light options. You can have a cool light or a warm light. Inside you get a warning light that the gauge actually turns red on a high or a low setting. Or if you want to move an exterior light out, you can move a light that's someplace in your vision to where it's just a light and you're not reading the gauge. All things that the racers brought to us. But the number one feature that we put in that we're really proud of is the data logger output. We put a 0 to 5 volt output that goes directly to your data logger, so no more splicing, no more double sending units. It goes directly from the sending unit to the gauge puts the output to the data logger, and you're finished. Now, I'd like to come up close and show you some of the features on the instrument so you can take a better look and see how easy all of it is with a simple push of the button.
Okay, on our display module here, our green button adds power and removes power. In your vehicle, obviously you'll have a button, a switch, or your keys to add power. With every one of our instruments, you're going to get a complete wiring harness, the sending unit, and this momentary switch. This momentary switch is how we're going to get us in a calibration mode. And what you do is you push and hold the switch and add power. Once it sweeps, you're now in calibration mode. Every gauge has 2 settings. On our stock eliminator temperature gauge, 130 and 40 are our 2 settings. 40 will change the light from warm to cool, and the 130 is how we set our trigger for our warning light. So first we're going to show you the light. So we go to 40, you push and hold, the pointer will move between 170 and 80. Each one of those indicate between warm and cool. Once you get to where you want it, you push and hold, the pointer will drop, you release, the setting's done. You cycle power, finished. It's really that simple. So now I'm going to show you the warning light. Again, power's off. We're going to push and hold our button. The gauge will sweep. You are now in calibration mode again. 130 and 40. 40 is for the light, 130 is for the trigger for the warning light. So we're going to push and hold. The pointer will drop. Now the pointer indicates where the trigger is going to be set. You have a low setting and a high setting. For a temperature gauge, we want a high setting because as it goes up, it will trigger. If you had an oil pressure gauge, you'd want to be a low setting, so when you lost oil pressure, it would trigger at whatever poundage or temperature you want. We're going to push it, the button, and it goes down. Push it again, it goes up. You can do that as many times as you want. I'm going to set it to 140, and as it climbs, release. I went a little high so I can push it, and there's 140. Again, you can go up or down as many times as you want. Once you get it where you want it, you just let it stop. It will time out, and the pointer will drop. Once that pointer drops, the setting is logged. Take away power, add it, and we can show on this piece temperature coming up, and as temperature comes up, gets close to that 140, you'll see the light turns red and the whole gauge indicates where your trigger was set. Once it goes down, it goes off. This is a real cool feature, and it really helps the driver as the whole gauge turns red. We also added this feature, which a lot of people asked for, which was a yellow wire with a white tracer, which is a ground circuit that you can add to a secondary warning switch. We'll get this down below temperature. We'll hook up this warning light, and now, as the temperature comes up, the gauge will turn red, but also our extra light. We do sell these at Classic Instruments, and you can get those from any of our dealers or online. A couple different color options, but as you see, it would really warn the driver. The second feature, and it was the most asked for, was what we talked about with our data logger. And this orange wire with the white tracer is the output from the gauge that goes to the input to the data logger. On our fluke meter, you see that it's reading 2.3, and as the pointer moves up and down the scale, you'll see that it changes from 0 to 5 volts. The lower it is, that's a 0.5 volt, and as it climbs, you'll see it reach all the way up to 5 volts. That's your input that is needed for your data logger. I hope all this shows you how simple our gauges can calibrate and how easy it is for you to change it as many times as you need. These are all available from any of our dealers. Obviously, you can buy them online at classicinstruments.com, and all the information you can get on any of our social media, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, or on our webpage. You can also call us anytime at 1-800-575-0461 and talk with one of our specialists that can help you get the gauges that you need for your car. Thank you, and have a great day.